In this video, I am going to teach you how to use your permalinks the right way to get the best SEO value out of your articles on your website. This is for WordPress. I'm sure it will work in HTML and in other sites, but I don't know how much control you have in a lot of the other types of platforms. We like to use WordPress. There is a difference between your permalink and your title. And this is where a lot of people make a big mistake. And I'm going to show you some tips to avoid making those mistakes. So make sure you watch to the whole entire video so you don't miss any of these important tips. And by the way, my name is Katerina Gasset. I am the owner and founder of Get It Done For Me Now Virtual Services. I'm also the owner of Coach Katerina LLC, which is a consulting and marketing company. And I am also a 40-year plus veteran in the real estate market. And I work in the real estate market in Utah for eXp Realty. So welcome to my channel. Welcome to my business channel here. I have other channels for other things, but this one is particular for you to learn how to do SEO, to grow your business, to do Facebook marketing, and all of the things that you need to know in order to grow and scale your company. You can always hire us as well. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these important videos. I have a whole entire playlist that's just about how to build your own WordPress website and using Thrive themes, so you can look for that. I also have an entire playlist on using AI writers and AI and how to do that correctly in your writing and copy and everything. And then I have an SEO playlist as well. If there's anything else that you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. Now, now that part's out of the way, let's get on with this. I am going to show you. So here is a permalink. So first you have your URL, which becomes a part of the permalink. Okay. So let's just, a URL is going to start with HTTPS, right? And then colon and 2 slashes. And then we're just going to use one of my real estate websites. I have a lot of niche websites, but we'll just use this one. So realestateforsale.com. All right. So you see how that stops right there? That is called a URL. So that is your URL. So someone might ask you, well, what's your domain? So for a domain, my domain is, so you're going to take off that that HTTPS, and so realestateforsale.com, because it could be .net or whatever. So that is that's the main domain, right? And then this is the URL. That's how you get there. Then each page will have a title. So let's say this is my home page. So now the home page would it says home usually, right? Now this is okay because it's a home page. I'm going to give you the ones when that shouldn't happen and when they should. And the reason why is because your URL will change to this. Actually, it'll be this. This is your home page, but you could set it up differently. So some people will set it up as like this. I'm just going to give you an example. Most people don't, but just in case, I just want to show you how you could set it up so everyone knows it's your home page. And then it would go / and then it would say home. See that? So that's where that would be called a permalink when you're adding that home at the end. All right. But in this case, for the home page, it's just going to stay the same. Now, I'm going to show you now where you find. So a permalink. Okay, so you have your title. Let's do a different title. Let's say the title is Provo Homes for Sale. And then maybe I'll say real estate market. Okay, now I don't want all of that. That's going to be a really long permalink. Now in the permalink, what are my main keywords here? My keywords are Provo Homes for Sale. Oh, actually it's Provo, Utah, I'm sorry. So let's put the state in there. You always want to put your state in there. All right, so I am saying, so my keywords are Provo, Utah Homes for Sale. And the title is Provo, Utah Homes for Sale, real estate market. And then I add our phone number. in there into the title if it fits, if it's not too long of a city. And so for this one, it does fit. No. Okay, so then you put your phone, put the phone number in there. Anyway, so that's going to be too long, right? Okay, so, but my keywords are right here. Okay, so the keywords, let's bold that. Actually, let's make that red so we know that those are the keywords, all right? So now you're going to want your permalink. So you'll always want to have your keywords or the main part of your keywords in your permalink. So I'm going to create a permalink now. Now, when you're in WordPress, this happens automatically, and it's called the slug. That's another word for it. It's called a slug. And you want to make sure that you always check that. I'm going to teach you how to check that because this can become a problem. And let me explain why. If you allow WordPress to pull in your permalink for you, it's going to pull in the phone number. It's going to put in real estate market. It's going to put all this. It's going to make for a very, very long URL. And that's not, number one, we don't want them to be, some of them have to be long. That's just all there is to it. But so you want to make them as short as possible. The next thing is you come back here. So let's just say you didn't do anything. And then in your WordPress site, you go to look for your page on your website, and all of a sudden you see, let me do it this way. You see this, right? You see, actually you would, let me just do it this way. You would see this as you would see down in your slug and your permalink, sorry. This whole thing plus all of this, all right? That's not good. And the reason why is because this is not a keyword, and I'm really not using real estate market as a keyword. So Provo, Utah homes for sale here has to be my permalink. So I'm going to type in, so when it asks for my and then you always put the hyphen there. Okay, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. Oops, hyphen. So it looks like this. So that's also called the slug. So at the end, it's going to look like this. Let me pull this down here for you. It's going to look, so the URL to your page then becomes this. Oops. Okay. Actually, I don't know why it won't. Let me make it smaller, even though it's hard to see, but I would just want you to see it on one line. Let me see if you can see it if I just go 14. Yeah, there we go. So you see how that's all, this would all be blue as well. Okay. So this becomes here's your permalink. So this whole thing becomes the new URL. So you might ask me, well, then why, if it makes a mistake, why can't I just go and change it? That would create a situation where you need to do a 301 redirect, and Google doesn't like a ton of redirects, so you want to be careful on your website to try not to have a lot of the redirects. What you would have to tell Google is, no, don't go there, go here is what you're doing. And plus that link could break, and then everybody would get a 404 error code. So you don't want that to happen on your website. It just creates problems. It also makes URLs too long. And then the other thing is when you're doing a redirect, something could always happen. And that's going to increase your first to content loading time on your page speed. And you don't want that either. These are all reasons why you want to get this right the first time and not have to go back and do 301 redirects. Now, I have done a lot of 301 redirects. We do that. We do that for our clients all the time because there's really no other way. But when we do a WordPress install now, we have an SOP that specifically spells out how you're going to have to do that. And I'm going to show you a couple mistakes we all make, and I've made them many times. So this is not something, that you should feel, embarrassed about that you didn't know this, because I mean, even though I knew it, I wasn't applying the best practices for it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here and show you what this looks like on a WordPress site. So we're going to come here, and these are the pages, and you do this with posts and pages, but on this particular site, I have mostly pages, okay, because they're all very real estate hyper focused. And so what I want to show you is how this works. So we'll go to this Provo, Utah homes for sale call da 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 da. If you click this little quick edit here, it'll open up and it'll show you, and you see how I have real estate market there, what I didn't want. So it made it a little bit long, right? Now it's okay. This is going to be okay. I'm not changing that. It's not worth me going to make a 301 redirect out of this one. But you see how here's the title, Provo, Utah homes for sale call, and the phone number. And then the slug is this. So what happens is if you don't come in here and make whatever this is, will automatically become this, all right? Unless you go in and change it. So that's where it's called the slug. This is your permalink. That's where you have to be very careful. And you want to do this before you publish your page or your post, okay? Your blog post, blog article, whatever you want to call it, or your page. So you want to make sure that you do this now. And then you just click this update right here, and it will update this for you. Now, what I want to show you is how you do this. So now another one is on about. So the biggest mistake I see now, home. Let's see if we even have a home. I don't know that we have a home because I believe this page here, where's my main one? This one here is the home page. So this is what's going to happen because everything is nested under this. You see how there's this little line? That means it's nested under this one, and then neighborhoods are nested under the city. So each city is nested under the county. See that? Now what I want to show you is that, okay, so here for contact, for instance, when you go to set up a WordPress website, automatically the blog will be there, you usually have to activate your disclaimers, terms and conditions, privacy, but your home will be there. Oh, my home is different. Okay, so my home is different. And then testimonials I added, but there's only going to be a couple, and then you create your pages. So this is where the mistake always comes. My VAs who do our installs, they just put in, they know already to put in home, blog, contact, disclaimers, about, and testimonials. Those are all standard in all our websites. So what happens is then when you look at the contact, let's go to quick edit and see how it's contact, and then the slug is contact, all right? But it's okay because this one has the Utah Valley real estate for sale before it. So Google knows that that's the contact page for those keywords, right? Now, but where the problem lies is when, and blog, I don't know, sometimes I think you should have a different slug for the blog. And like I said, the homepage is okay as long as that's going to be the main keyword and then / home as your slug. That's okay too for SEO. But testimonials, I don't think so. And so you see the about, here's our about page. So what happened was I made the permalink. So watch this, quick edit. I changed the title to About Katerina Gasset and Tristan Gasset, Utah County Homes for Sale is our title because Google needs to know about my EAT, my EEAT, right? So I am trying to increase my EEAT scoring. And if our names are not in the title along with the keywords, that's not establishing EAT. So my slug cannot be about, because if I do that, I'm going to get an error code on my SEO Press saying your keywords are not in your permalink. All right. So here in my permalink, I changed it to About Katerina Gasset and Tristan Gasset because I don't want it to be super long. Plus this part here is going to be in the main URL, right? So this is how you need to do like your about pages. All right. This is very, very important because you have to establish EAT. And this is showing Google that you're starting to establish EAT. So that is one of the pages where I think, so now what we have to think about is, since I didn't do it correctly for testimonials, let's go here. And now I have to think, see how it says testimonials and then your slug is testimonials? See how they're the same? That's what happens if you don't come in here and change your permalink or your slug. That's not what you want, because now if I change, I can change the title all day long. That doesn't affect your SEO. But this does, okay? This changes your SEO a lot. This, if I even add anything to this word, any more words or anything like that, then what's going to happen is I have to then create a 301 redirect, all right? And it'll trigger that. Once you change it, WordPress will say, hey, you need to do a 301 redirect. Now, if your site is not published, then it doesn't matter. You can go and change those slugs all you want because they're all in draft. But once it's published, you're going to have to do the 301 redirect. You do not have to do 301 redirects if your posts or pages are in draft and they are not published. Okay, but don't unpublish them and change them, because that won't happen. That doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Right? So let's check let me check this Eagle Mountain one. Quick edit, and let's just see. All right. So this one is the same, and then that's okay. You see, because it is the keyword. So that's going to be just fine. All right. And so you want to check them all and make sure once you go in, and it'll be another video where I show you how to do the SEO. And I think I have a video already on SEO Press. But if I click this edit part here, this edit, not in my Thrive, but just in, so I just ignore launching with Thrive and I go down here, it'll tell me what my title is, my meta description, and then it'll give me my analysis for how good I did on the SEO. And you want the green light. So if you look over here, where's my green light? Did someone see my green light? Oh, it's on the dashboard. Never mind. I'll show you that in a second. So these are all green, and I never worry about the no follow links, because you're always going to have no follow links. Google does look at no follow links, and you want no follow links because you got to be connected to Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and, on and on and on to get your EAT established, especially if you're in an YMYL space like real estate or mortgages or anything to do with people's monies, finances, or medical stuff, or pharmaceuticals, or holistic medicine, or pets, or all of these things, parenthood, all of those types of niches. You are going to have EAT established very, very well, which means you're going to have a lot of no follow links. So I don't worry about if that's the only one that's orange and everything else is green. We're doing great. All right. Let's go back and look at the pages one more time just to show you the green lights. So the ones that I'm working on right now, you'll see that the about page is green, which means I've satisfied all of those criteria there. My home page, testimonials, all of my pages. We're working on this one right now, but you'll see that they'll be all green. This one we're working on, and these are all in draft. So these, we're not working on yet. They're all in draft. And so my homepage, it still needs, no, there's something else. We don't worry about privacy terms and disclaimers, of course, being green. And then I have to work on my contact and my blog page. Those are the two things that I'm working on next to get to the green light, along with my VAs that help me do all this. So that's it in a nutshell for how to do your permalinks. This is a very SEO basic structuring. Hope you gained something from this. Please like my video. Leave me a comment with any questions you have. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos that I produce, and I will see you on the next one.